So we're working on the course development for the EmpowerHER program. We started our summer Saturday series. It's all about empowerment and women's leadership. And one of the things that we're working on is a distinction in the leadership literature that talks about kind of 7 archetypes. And what this gets discussed in is kind of in the world of leadership gaps. We have an archetype that we could kind of relate to as kind of the main way we tend to be in the world as leaders. And then there's a spectrum that says, you know, when we're not as authentic, we're not being our authentic self, when we're not being kind of self-expressed and open and relaxed, we shift from kind of the lead figure to what we call the shadow figure. So an example of this is the rebel versus the imposter. You know, so on the rebel side, you're talking about, you know, this individual that's like loud and proud and willing to, you know, focus on what they want to get done, maybe, you know, damn be the rules kind of thinking for that person. But the other end of the spectrum, and you can think of it as a continuum, when you're your most authentic, self-expressed, confident self, you're the rebel. But then, and this happens to be my archetype, but then at the other end of the spectrum is the imposter. And the imposter is afraid of being found out, that they're not good enough, they're not competent enough. And what you can see kind of happens is if, and this is me, if I'm not feeling entirely confident, if I'm not self-assured, if I'm feeling a little vulnerable and insecure, then I shift from that loud, proud rebel, making things happen, shaking up the world, to I hope I can, I might, I could, and somebody going to discover that maybe I'm not as competent as I need to be fulfilling this role or doing this work that I said I was going to do. So it's an interesting literature to look at some of the other archetypes. So there are 7 of them. The explorer versus the exploiter, the truth teller versus the deceiver. Again, so there's the archetype, and then there's a spectrum that when you stray away from kind of the strength of your strongest leadership skills, there's the hero and the bystander. Some of us may see ourselves in this one, the inventor and the destroyer, the navigator and the fixer, the knight and the mercenary. And so there's a range of behaviors for each of those along that spectrum. And while there's one that may be kind of a dominant archetype for us, the literature helps us understand that we operate with many different types. So there are 2 or 3 of these that may be what we use in various domains and areas of our life. It's fascinating literature. I'm delighted to share it with you and with the EmpowerHER program participants. Take care. Thanks for listening. And subscribe to my channel.